It won't be very long until Connecticut voters head to the polls, and there are some brand new numbers out in the race for governor. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Keith Kuntz. A brand new Quinnipiac University poll is out just one day ahead of that hotly contested race for governor. It shows Governor Daniel Malloy pulling slightly ahead of Republican challenger Tom Foley. Another development in the race, independent candidate Joe Visconti dropped out on Sunday, throwing his support to Foley. So what, if anything, does all this mean? News 8's Ken Pierce has been analyzing the numbers. He joins us live in Hartford this midday with the latest. Ken.
Or did Joe Visconti technically drop out of the race, Keith? That is still very much in question. According to Secretary of the State Merrill, he didn't actually drop out of this race. Denise Merrill just got through reviewing all the things that her office is watching and doing in the few hours left before the polls open at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. She reminds everyone that there is a constitutional question on the ballot along with all of those state and congressional races. That question, if it passes, would allow the state to possibly do no question absentee ballots or early voting in years to come. Merrill also reminded everyone there are new rules to prevent what happened 4 years ago when they ran out of ballots in Bridgeport, the city that decided the governor's race between Foley and Malloy then. She also reviewed a relatively new process for Connecticut, Election Day registration. This was only approved 2 years ago, so people might not know that they can register to vote tomorrow. If you just moved to Connecticut, or you just became a U.S. citizen, or you're turning 18 today or tomorrow, well, happy birthday. You can still register to vote. You have to have two forms of ID, one that has your picture, another like a utility bill or a bank statement that has your current address. Just so you're not surprised, you'll be given a special Election Day registration ballot, and you don't do any of this at a polling place. Instead, each town has a designated location for Election Day registration.
That's because the lists are only available and they're a closed system, so no one can tamper with them. And it's only available in one place, usually in your town. Again.
And in most cities and towns, that one location is either city or town hall. You can go online to check the location where you live. One more announcement from the Secretary's office, and I mentioned this already. You may have heard independent candidate for Governor Joe Visconti dropped out of the race this weekend and endorsed Tom Foley. Well, Secretary Merrill says that's not entirely true. She's spoken to the Visconti campaign, and he is not technically withdrawing from the race. That means his name will remain on the ballot. There wasn't time to reprint those ballots anyway, and the machines will still count any votes cast for Visconti. So, Keith, with the close race between Foley and Malloy, this news could actually have an impact on the race between the Democratic and Republican candidates. So we got to watch that. Live at the Capitol in Hartford, I'm Kent Pierce. Back to you.